The Google Pixel 9 is here, and I've got my hands on a retail unit slightly ahead of time. This is the new porcelain finish, and before diving into more about the smartphone, the box comes with some paperwork, a SIM tool, and a dual Type-C USB charging cable. Personally, the size of the Pixel 9 is fantastic and it sits really well in the hand. But there's two little things that I want to point out. Firstly, the camera bump, which is quite big and I wish it was a bit smaller. And secondly, the volume and power buttons, in my opinion, would have been more aptly placed if the positions were inverted. That aside, there's hardly much to complain about with the Pixel 9 in terms of feel in hand, and all of your regular bells and whistles are here too, things like IP68 water and dust resistance and Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 protection for the display. Speaking of the display, it's a 6.3-inch 120Hz OLED panel with a brighter 2700 nit specification and flat edges. So far, I've had a good time using it for multimedia, and the speakers that pair with the display are good too. But when you notice it, the bezels just seem slightly too big, and I know this is nitpicking, but I'm still pointing it out because this is a flagship smartphone. And for most other things, it does behave like one too. I've been browsing through the smartphone constantly in the last few hours and it has remained extremely snappy, one thanks to the stock Android 14 skin on here, and two because of how well optimized the Tensor G4 chip is. But there is a catch. It's optimized for certain things because benchmarks on the Google Pixel 9 are a bit underwhelming in my opinion. So yes, in a way the 12GB of RAM and the Tensor G4 chip will get you by, but if you're looking for raw power, it's a different story. The one nice thing though is that the Pixel 9 isn't heating up too much as of yet, which was something that was pretty much a common theme in the last few Pixels. Now onto some of the main stuff, which is AI. The Pixel 9 series is heavily focused on it, and here are some examples of it in action. There's a new screenshots application which basically uses AI to add context to your screenshots, and it's neat to have. The weather application is also refreshed and you can get more insights about how your day or week is looking. But beyond these two things, there's Gemini. A really cool feature Gemini has, which so far only works on the Pixel 9 series in my experience, is being able to read things off of your screen and get insights like summarizing the video you're watching, which I think is very practical and helpful. To fully leverage Gemini, the Pixel 9 has got the hardware, but it's a bit disappointing that there's no free trial of Gemini Advanced on the Pixel 9, like how there is with the Pro versions of the Pixel 9 series. I know there's a lot of AI features coming to other Google applications as we speak, but these aren't going to be Pixel specific, so it doesn't really sell the Pixel 9 in my opinion, and that's why I'm talking about Pixel specific features, of which one other one is Pixel Studio, which works similar to how you can currently generate wallpapers using AI, which is pretty cool to be honest, and quite frankly shows the true potential of AI. But sadly, Pixel Studio isn't yet available on the Pixel 9, so I couldn't test it out, but it seems like what it's based on is already available on Google's AI Kitchen with a VPN connected to the USA on any smartphone, not just Pixel specific. And here's how Pixel Studio will most likely behave, where you can put in a certain prompt and it'll generate a picture for you with that prompt, and you can change and chop around based on your wishes. And I think it's gonna come to the Pixel 9 in the form of Pixel Studio in the next couple of days when the day one launch software update hits these Pixel devices. I just happen to have these a bit earlier. Lastly, I want to talk a bit about the new Add Me AI feature, which is based on the Pixel 9's camera. But before that, the hardware on the Pixel 9 needs to be prefaced. It's a 50 megapixel primary sensor alongside a 48 megapixel ultra wide lens. Now, the camera suite has seen some improvements, and this is something I'll be testing out in the next couple of days, so make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. But one thing that stands out is that it leverages AI to basically give you a chance to get into a picture which you're taking, but also ask someone then to take that picture with you inside it. So I know it's a bit complicated to explain, but essentially it's pretty good. You can have yourself in a picture which you were taking, then you can give the phone to someone else, they'll be using the phone to take a picture, and you can slot into that picture wherever you want that isn't blocking someone else, and it'll sort of stitch both of these pictures together to make one picture with everyone in frame. But I want to try this out in different scenarios, in low light, in medium light, in sunlight, and that's something I'm also going to be doing in the next couple of days. But beyond the scope of AI and refinements to design, the Pixel 9 doesn't shine through with a specific identity. I think the new features that are Pixel specific aren't too groundbreaking, and for the Pixel 9's $799 price tag, there's way more to be had from other smartphones in the market. But this is a judgment that could change as I use the device a bit more. But for now, thanks for watching, and do let me know what you guys want to see with the Pixel 9 down in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios!